Hello everybody and welcome back to Fallout 4. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different, in the sense that it's no longer a guide, and it's not the thing that should be going out the day after this. It's in fact a base tour, and it's of what I'm currently calling Fort Doom, because I don't have any other better ideas. And I've sort of taken Sanctuary and done quite a lot with it. I have had to install a few mods to be able to do it, so if you're playing on consoles, you probably can't achieve the same sort of level of stuff. But right here we have the two guard towers, which are essentially the front thing that you see as you come into Sanctuary now. You know, it's no longer just, oh, there's a statue of a man and there's a town. No, there's these two giant wooden towers that are armed with, you know, laser turrets and missile launchers and guards on either side, although he hasn't turned up for work today because he's a lazy bastard. But continuing forward, we have the flags of my two factions that I work for. I haven't done a huge amount of the story for either of them. The thing I think I've most progressed with is probably the Minutemen. Brotherhood's probably after that, and the main story I don't really care about that much to actually bother. But as you see as you come up to here, we are moving away from the basic sort of building materials that we've got in these guard towers, which I'm going to show you inside actually just before we go any further. I built these guard towers essentially just as floating wooden things. I saw this little ramp sort of bit here and I was like, I could probably build something pretty cool here. And then this sort of just came out of that. And then I added this section on after it, and then this became the sort of bit where the guards are now, because I used to have them right there in front of the downward slanty bit of wood that they have on the bridge in Sanctuary, which I'd really like to be able to repair this bridge in Sanctuary, but you actually can't. Because your build area stops, I think, just about halfway over that. Like, just past where these main guns are. Which is really irritating, and it's actually not straight, it's slightly slanted. Which is why you can't actually build out these guard towers to both be symmetrical. Which also irritates me. But if you come up here and go past the generators, you actually come up here onto this nice sort of bridge walkway bit that has this pretty cool cable connection system that I actually quite like. I just did this sort of semi by accident. I've actually noticed a weird thing with those things down there. But essentially this connects up to the generators, and those generators connect up to pretty much everything else. And I actually kind of like the symmetry of this, and it looks kind of nice. I've also got the two rag stag doe head things on here, because I think those things look pretty damn cool. And so they'd be a nice decoration as well. But if you come back down here, as I was going into here, and saying, this area stops being using the basic build materials and starts using modded building materials, like these concrete walls and this sort of pretty cool looking doorway, and this door is also modded, but it actually quite nicely fits in here. You can sort of just see past it because it doesn't actually snap to the door like the basic doors do. And there's also some gaps in it, so it's not exactly perfect, but the build system in the game is kind of awkward, so getting things actually lined up is a sort of a pain. Because a lot of the time you actually line it up and then it doesn't work. So that's nice. But here we have the front guard, which is mainly consists of guns, and there's also a guard tower there where a guard is supposed to be sitting, but he's not there, which is irritating. As you come inside, we actually have the sort of second line of defense, I suppose. If something manages to get past all of that, I mean, I'm just gonna give them my loot, because they've gone through hell already. You know, I feel kind of bad for them at that point. But then if they do manage to get through the doors, they've then got to face this sort of onslaught of laser beams, which it ain't gonna happen. It just ain't happening. But if we move past the sort of the defences and the sort of the hardiness of Sanctuary, we come to the sort of nicer bit, if we ignore the, you know, artillery cannons. We have the sort of park area, outdoorsy bit where people can come and, you know, just sort of chill out with their friends and family that they've formed here in this nice little town, village, settlement. I'll go with village. I like village. Sounds cool. But yeah, we have these nice sort of outdoor picnic table style things, which are irritatingly probably not in line, but oh well. We also have a nice milk machine here, which you can open and close the little push hatch on. We've got this here, which as one of my friends put it, is probably one of the most depressing things in the game. Apparently that's one of the hardest items to get in the game, that cake right there. That cake. That damn cake. 101. Over here we have a nice little rocket bin and sort of the lookout area if people just want to, you know, look at the wasteland in some sort of peace and some sort of sees the niceness of this sort of barren landscape. We also have some nice trees which are flowering, not like the rest of the wasteland which is dying around us. And then we have a cigarette thing here which also opens up, which like the milk thing. This is the only area in the entire settlement where there are any traces of cigarettes. And that's kind of for a reason, but oh well. I've also got these nice notices put on these, just so you know, people need to wash their hands before taking some Nuka-Cola or some milk out of these machines. But this area is generally just so, you know, the civilians can sort of they can relax a bit, you know, and sort of take some time out of their day from farming and defending the settlement, you know, just sort of relax. As I said, we've got the two sort of artillery guns here, which are both rotated in that direction for some reason. Hello, you work that one. Good woman. But yeah, as we come around, the entirety of Sanctuary is sort of walled off in weird ways, like here's just some picket fences, which I'm hoping raiders can't jump. And then sort of the same here, I've just got fences here mostly. I'm slowly sort of upgrading the place and changing those out to actual proper walls, which I'll show you in a little bit later. But if we come up here, obviously my companions are sitting in the road. We've got Diane, or She-Neck as I refer to her generally. We have the Deathclaw, or Sean, as he's called by the mod, which is a bit odd. And of course we have Dogmeat, who is wearing his battle armor and kind of looks like Ghost from Game of Thrones. But here we come to the sort of the meat and potatoes of Sanctuary, or Fort Doom, as I like to refer to it. And this is the bar here. And if you give me a second, there may be some stuttering in game, which I apologise for, but I'm just saving to make sure I don't lose any of the footage from this, because you know I don't want to mess up this video. But as we come in here, we reach the bar. Now I did spend quite a while building this, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. But we have the main sort of stage area on your right as you come in, with the globe back there just to, you know, shine on whoever's deciding to sing for the entertainment of everyone else in Sanctuary. We also have a jukebox if there's no singer in today, which then, you know, there might not always be one. That's a problem with the build system. But oh well. Yeah, jukebox. Jukebox is nice. Only plays classic music, which is a bit of a disappointment because I actually quite like Diamond City Radio stuff, and I'd like to be able to put that in there, but I can't. So I think there's a radio playing somewhere because I just caught like the end of a song by the sounds of it. But yeah, this is the main bar area. I haven't put one of the bar stands in here, like the actual ones you can tell people to man. And the reason for that is, one, I think it'd ruin the sort of the look of the place anyway, and if I actually could see the fucking radio, it's my own radio. But I think it would ruin the look of the place having a bar stand here. So instead it's set out like an actual bar. With you know, the little bar stools and the sort of tables and employee only sign, because I can't actually put a... Well, I guess I could probably put a gate there. I'll get back to you on that one. Got a magazine rack, which doesn't actually have anything in it, because all my magazines are in my house, which I'll get to. Of course, we have the nice paintings, which I've been replaced with another mod, and they'll probably be in the description if I can find it. But actually back here we actually have, you know, all of the drinks and the food and stuff, and none of the drinks are actually standing up, for the simple reason of they are literally just slightly too big for the height of the shelves. And there's a radiation storm that's rolled in. Oh well, I believe I've turned on TIM, so I should be fine. But I'll continue on during the radiation storm. We have obviously the rag stag dough heads up here again. These ones don't yet have eyes. It's a bit odd. But anyway, we have the food and sort of other medical treatments. We've got Radex and stuff. Over here we have the rest of the stuff here. A lot of these are just sort of empty bottles. Now, the reason for them being empty bottles is the fact that I've been finding less and less actual bottles that you can drink from. So, other than Nuka-Cola, which there's plenty of it everywhere, the rest of them are just sort of empty bottles for the most part. We do have sort of a collection of different drinks that you can you can choose from here in the bar. As I come upstairs and I stare at a wall looking out the turrets through the gaps, and that's the slit above the walls because there is a staircase. We actually come to the sort of the bed section of the inn bar style thing. People can come and rest their head if they're just coming to visit Sanctuary, or they can stop here. Well, that's pretty simple area. Actually, I've got one thing to show you on this floor. Actually, there's this chair around here which is sort of hidden out of the way. I haven't actually seen anyone stop here and sit there yet, though, which is kind of irritating. I'd quite like someone to do that. But as we come upstairs, we reach the sort of socialising area for the bar, which is just, a couple settees or couches, if you want to call them that, tables, some drawers to store your stuff in, another one of those paintings, and a pool table, and some nuka-cola machines, which don't have anything in them, because putting stuff in those is a nightmare, quite literally. And then we come up to the top floor, which, for some reason, the lighting has stopped working on. Up here is pretty much just a sort of lookout area if people want to look out over the Sanctuary, and it's green irradiatedness currently, and they can. But there's also access up here to some mute fruit plants, and there's actually a settler up here. Oh, it's the front gate guard. How you doing, man? There isn't actually a way to get back off this roof once you get up here, so it's sort of a trap in itself. But, I'll leave them up here by themselves. I can jump back down the other way. I was going to show you can jump down to this bit, and then it sort of stops you taking fall damage. But, oh well. Also, Trash Can Carl has decided to wander into town. Goodbye. As we continue on, we reach the newest thing, I think, in Sanctuary. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, actually. I was sort of running out of space to build things on, because I was using up the actual sort of concrete slabs that you can build on the ground, rather than building my own foundations. And so I decided to build on top of a house. And this is the Armory here in Sanctuary. This is the place where all the guns are stored, essentially. Sort of out of the way of most of the settlers, and also sort of show-offy area for Sanctuary, really. Because as we come through what are normally closed slidey doors, which seems to just randomly open, which are also added by the same mod that a lot of the other stuff is, we come into the Armory itself. Now, there's a lot of storage areas in here, and workbenches and things, but the main point is all of these. And you think this is a lot, right? Yeah? This is all on display, these all look fancy, right? There's more. There's a lot in here. There's just an absolute crap ton, and this isn't even all of the guns I have. A lot of them are just in these lockers because I've just been picking up so much. And they are just everywhere. There's a flamer up there, there's like bottle cap mines and stuff. There's a lot of pipe weaponry because I pick up a lot of it, but I don't actually use any pipe weaponry. Of course, here's the minigun from Concord. The memories of, gunning down that death claw right at the start of the game. All there on that table. But as I've panned up to a few times, and probably what some of you noticed, is the thing up on the roof here. That's the vertibird, which is also added by the same mod as the doors and a lot of the other stuff, as I've previously mentioned. And I don't believe you can actually fly this, nor do I think you can actually get into it without using console commands. But this is a vertibird. Those things Brotherhood flying on, everything. This is the vertibird that I sort of have on the roof. This is, in theory, the if everything goes to hell, the escape route for the important people in Sanctuary. And by that I mean myself. Because none of these other people are really that important. That sounds really mean. Some of them are, like you, Dogmeat. You're important. And Sheenak. But I don't think Sean would fit on the vertibird, in all honesty. And generally, due to his AI's inability to do anything, he'd probably run away from the vertibird trying to get onto it anyway. But he has a death claw. They're not known for intelligence, I suppose. But over here, we have, this is the main gate up to Vault 111, which obviously isn't actually part of the main Sanctuary area, but if anything does decide to come out of that vault, or this surrounding area around the back, trying to, take advantage of Sanctuary's like weaker defensive wall, they've got some trouble back here to deal with. we've got a whole bunch of these, I believe these are Mark II, even though they say Mark I on the side, turrets. Oh, they're the level 2 ones. I guess they are Mark 1, but they're level 2, if that makes sense. They're essentially set up on these sort of platforms. This area did originally reach all the way forward, but I sort of stripped it back because it was a lot of sort of jumping around these tree branches because they really upset the build system for some reason, which is kind of disappointing because I would have liked to have had sort of symmetrical guard towery area that you can go and stand on. But well, this is the main guard.
Hope you ain't here for me.
I don't actually know her name, but she's been here pretty early on. She was the first one to come in wearing some actual cool looking armour rather than the flannel shirt. There's nothing wrong with the flannel shirt, but just saying. She's the one that came in here wearing proper armour. But as we continue on in, I'm just going to save again just to make sure everything's all good. We reached the main house. Now this is the first area where I started building in Sanctuary, which I think most people do when they start off in Sanctuary here. This is the main house, and obviously you have these two. You know, this guy that's kind of depressed and I kind of feel bad for him, and then this asshole.
No, I'm fine.
Should she apologize? Well,
I don't want to think about it.
I'm just gonna ignore him. But anyway, this is the rest of. This is the main house where obviously I've put all of the construction-y stuff. There's a chem station, an armor workbench, and a weapon workbench, and the actual workbench, and a scavenging station. And also I used to have my armor here, but I moved that to somewhere a little more special. And obviously in here we have the sort of main living room area where most of the people just sort of tend to sort of chill out, and it's also the first house that actually had beds in it where settlers could sleep and relax. Sort of, you know, take the weight of the world off their feet, I suppose. You know, if you keep following me with that face, there are going to be problems.